Hello everyone, hope everyone can hear me. So we will start this short webinar to show you a little bit what ViaGrade means by complete workflow. I am Mathieu Grob, pre-sales manager at ViaGrade, and I am along with Mark Westerway, simulator engineer. And today we will be your host for this little presentation. At the end of the webinar, there will be a Q&A session. So please use the Q&A section in the WebEx event page that you are on normally to ask any questions you want during the presentation, and we will collect them and answer them at the end of the presentation. You are all mute by default, so just to use the Q&A section if anything comes from your mind. Thank you. So let's start. So this is about one of the first of a series of 3 little webinars about describing the main aspect of ViaGrade software, hardware, and services solution. This first one is about what we call the complete workflow, to describe how we can have a complete solution from offline simulation to driving simulation up to in-vehicle testing. So, first step, why a complete workflow? What is the goal to have a complete workflow? Nowadays, real-time simulation and driving simulators are the new methods, the new standards that are widely adopted by the automotive industry to develop innovative products in shorter time and with less cost. However, as we know, a robust and powerful workflow must be put in place in order to seamlessly transition from your early concept design through real-time simulation to development and testing on the driving simulator. If you just have the driving simulator itself and you cannot run any models or any simulation with it because you cannot adapt your workflow to the driving simulators, it can be a problem. So ViaGrade knows this problem and is the only simulation company able to provide a complete and integrated workflow, leveraging the same software, this is a key point, from your workstation concept design up to advanced driving simulator application. So by doing that, ViaGrade is bridging the gap between offline, faster than real-time simulation, and online, powerful driving simulator capabilities, leading to better efficiency in your daily work. On the right, on this slide, you can see we have a little drawing showing that ViaCar Real-Time, that is our vehicle model, can serve multiple of area and purpose in simulation, different disciplines like vehicle dynamics, ride and comfort. We have interface to multi-body that we will detail a little bit later. To do some optimization, software and hardware in the loop, ADAS application, and is seamlessly used on your workstation to do all kinds of simulation or on the driving simulator. So just a little stop by how this workflow works in your real life, let's say, work on your design. So on the left side, you have the traditional V-cycle that we have now since many, many years in all the automotive industry. You can see that on this V-cycle, you have the classic way of building a project, an automotive project, from your very early CAE design and virtual prototype to first physical prototype and building and testing, to finally hit the track and eventually to the sign-off. But you have always to do some loops here to refine your product, to refine your solution. And you have a clear separation between your CAE team and virtual design development team and the testing team, engineering and driver team here that goes on track to test the different prototypes. What we want to achieve, thanks to this workflow, is to create a bridge here to narrow this V-cycle and to create a bridge directly between your virtual design and your testing capabilities by using driving simulation and the driving simulator especially. By doing that, we allow shorter development cycles, we allow less cost in development, and also we create a bridge to have CAE engineers and test drivers in a collaborative work in this environment. So this is what we call bridging the gap between testing and simulation. Now, if we take a look at the different aspects of what we call the complete workflow. As I said, we want to go from offline to the driving simulator quite seamlessly up to in-vehicle integration. So our complete workflow have a seamless transition from your early concept through real-time simulation to the driving simulator. So as always, you start by having an offline concept, and you start your offline design and simulation. And for that, you need many pieces on the simulated world on the left. So of course, you need to have your vehicle modeled. This is what we can achieve with our vehicle model via real time. And then you can add all the controllers you would need, for example, with software in the loop, that you can simulate in different kind of scenarios, driven by a virtual driver or VI driver. Also have integrated some simulated sensors and generated some different events, for example, traffic or for ADAS simulation. So for this kind of study, we are in the full virtual simulated world in doing some offline simulation. Sorry. Then, if you want to step up and you want to go from the offline to online simulation, so you have the ability with ViaGrade to use exactly the same software from the offline to the driving simulator application. So you don't need to have a scaled down or less accurate software. It's exactly the same software environment that you have in between the offline workstation and online on driving simulator application. Here you can see we have kind of a hybrid environment where you have exactly the same simulated virtual development environment than before. But thanks to the driving simulator, you can add different pieces of the real world, like real sensors or real controllers connected to your simulation loop. And the crucial part, of course, with the driving simulator is to have the real driver that will test and give you feedback along with your engineering and design team in real time with all your virtual concepts within the driving simulator. So once you have done that, you have a mix of simulated and real pieces you have been able to design and test. And now you can seamlessly transition to real in-vehicle testing and integration, because you have been well prepared thanks to the driving simulator study to most of the pieces and of your design, especially with the driver. So this is what we call one solution for every need, to have this complete workflow from the very early stage of the design to up to the test before even the first prototype has been built. In the next two webinars, we will also talk about how unique our driving simulator solution helps in accomplishing this kind of targets, and also our solution is complete but open with third-party applications. But this unique and open aspect will be dealt with in two coming webinars. So to illustrate a little bit more with an example, the complete workflow, here is an example of what you can do coming from two different sources, that is an Adams-Carr CAE model or a virtual or real KNC rig test, to then transform those data and use those data in the real-time environment of ViaGrade using VIA Automotive, and then transition to ViaCar real-time or software, simulation software using VIA or driver or road, tire, and VIA animator, to perform simulation, correlation, optimization, test, and so on, to refine your solution. And then, before going to the simulator, prepare your motion queuing by using our VI Motion Queuing web tool and VI Motion Queuing offline tool to prepare your simulator session. All this can be done within the same environment, the same software, all along without any need to convert any model, any need to change software or to have any conversion of any kind. So it adds efficiency and to the process. So now I will show you a short video of a little bit fast forward previous webinar we have done on the complete solution. So you can have this complete version of this webinar on our YouTube page. That is the complete from workstation to driving simulator workflow, where we have a live demo from really all the stage I talked about, from Adam's car and virtual KNC rig to the driving simulator. So if you want to see the complete version, I will put the YouTube channel address at the end of this presentation. So basically, as I said, you can start from an Adams model, any kind of Adams model, and then you have an automatic plugin that will export this Adams model within our ViaCar real-time environment and automatically perform some correlation tests in between your Adams car model and your ViaCar real-time model. So, for example, here we have imported, or it's fast forward in fast forward, so it's not as fast. You can see, you will see on the webinar how much time it takes. It's not so long anyway. And at the end, you have a report that shows you the correlation between the Adams car model from where you have imported your vehicle and the equivalent ViaCar real-time model of your Adams car model. Here, basically, red is the ViaGrade model and blue is the Adams car model. And we can see here that without any tuning, the correlation, the curves are perfectly matched and the correlation is very good. So once you have done this, you can also use a KNC interface. So you can use standard KNC data and generated also automatically generate a ViaCar real-time model from those data, and same principle than before. It generates a vehicle model with some tests to check the reliability of the car data you have created from those data. Once you have done this, of course, you can do all your setup change, see the curves, and change all the parameters in all you want, driveline, chassis, dampers, tires, and so on, and launch a whole batch of simulation using our ViaCar real-time interface, like, for example, max performance simulation that allows you to optimize a path, speed, and driver inputs around a racetrack. So this is what you see here, where the simulation will automatically optimize vehicle performance around a racetrack and give you at the end a report with, you will see, yeah, a report around these tracks with all the different efforts, speed, and characteristic calculated by the VI driver. And so what you can do is investigation mode. That is, you define a batch of parameters you want to explore. And for example, you want to explore many different suspension settings in between different type of setups. And so you can run thousands of simulation in one batch. And then at the end, visualize what is the best combination of parameters to obtain the performance you want. This is called investigation mode and can allow you to run thousands of setups in a very short time and then have a very quick overview of which parameters are the best for the objective you have. So once you have prepared your vehicle model, we can set up the motion queuing by using our motion queuing web tool. So it's a web page where you can get already validated, statistically validated motion queuing files, depending of the car and the scenario you want to do. So you can download those files and use it right out of the box on your driving simulator, or compare your motion queuing settings with the recommended motion queuing settings from ViaGrid. Once you have your file, you can download it and use our VI motion queuing offline algorithm with this motion queuing file and with the vehicle you have designed and optimized before offline to test with our offline motion queuing if everything goes well. So here you can see that we are replaying the motion queuing with the platform, and we can study exactly how the maneuver is going, how you are comparing to the limits of the platform, which kind of acceleration, gains, and so on you can expect from your maneuver, and tune everything up in your motion queuing in advance before going to the driving simulator. So here we have seen through this concrete example how complete from really your offline up to the online to prepare your in-vehicle real testing simulation can be done with ViaGrid. Of course, it's one short example. On the webinar video, you can have the full example with all the explanation and details if needed. So it allows you to start from your concept offline with full simulation, full virtual domain, then to move seamlessly without changing anything, any tool, any software in the same ecosystem directly online and have studies with your drivers, and to prepare as best as we can in-vehicle real testing for the final sign-off. So, conclusions for this concept. ViaCar real-time and our, let's say, complete workflow allow to have one single, reliable, consistent vehicle model and workflow around your design, virtual design, from your workstation up to the driving simulator. So thanks to that, we are bridging the gap between testing and simulation by providing interface from CAE environment and testing world to the ViaGrid real-time ecosystem in order to accelerate design and develop new automotive solutions. So thank you for your presence and attention. Now it's time for Q&A. If you want to go a little bit deeper in the topic, we encourage you to go on our website or and YouTube channel, where you can see a lot of videos, especially previous seminars about different technologies that we have. Our LinkedIn page to be up to date with all our last news. You can contact me directly by email also if you want to have more in-depth discussion. And yeah, and I encourage you to see our previous webinar about offline to online simulation, where you will have the full length and the full details about the demo I just showed you in fast forward before. Thank you very much. Now I let Mark take the...
Yeah, thank you, Matthias. So one moment while I share my screen. Do you see it fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So first question, will this webinar be available to rewatch?
Yeah, we are recording all our webinars, and that's why I talk about this. All our webinars are available on our YouTube channel. So all our previous one and this one will be available in a few days also on our YouTube channel.
Okay. Then regarding the investigation mode, is there a possibility to run many simulations in an effective way?
So not we try to answer as wide as possible on the question. Basically, yes, you can run. The goal of investigation mode is to run many different simulations to explore many setup possibilities, many parameters, value possibilities in a more effective way. You have two ways of doing it. Either you're doing locally or your computer and you launch your batch of simulation. Or we have also the possibility to use cloud computing with one of our partners, Rescale, where you can have some time on powerful clusters. And so, of course, gain a lot of time in computation time by doing that.
Okay. And then another question. I didn't understand the part where the vehicle model is taken from Adams and compared with VI car real time. Is the Adams car model not converted into an equivalent VI car real time car model?
Yes, it is converted. But of course, what we do at the end is we double check. Adams is a very, very complex multi-body model that is not real-time, and we have VIACAR real-time that is also a multi-body model that is real-time, but of course it's not the same formulation exactly that Adams. So to be sure we have exactly the same vehicle model at the end, we run some tests to compare on same maneuvers the Adams car model answer and forces and characteristic to the VIACAR, the twin, VIACAR real-time twin car model that we have just created from the Adams car model. And what I showed is that we generated a report at the end that shows that the models are identical, that the VIACAR real-time model behaves exactly as the Adams car model it's extracted from, apart the fact that the VIACAR real-time model is real-time and can be used on the simulator.